In the scorching heat of 12th century Arabia, where the shifting sands held secrets of empires, there rose a warrior whose name would be etched in history, Omar al-Faris, known as the Lion of the Desert. A fearless leader and a man of unshakable honor, he stood against tyranny when all others cowered. Omar was not born into wealth or power. He was the son of a humble blacksmith raised in the oasis town of Al-Rahim. From a young age, he learned the values of hard work, justice, and the importance of protecting the weak.
A man's strength is not measured by his sword, but by his honor.
When the ruthless warlord Malik ibn Rasha seized control of their land, imposing crushing taxes and enslaving the innocent, Omar could not stand by. He gathered a small force, merchants, farmers, and shepherds, ordinary men united by a cause greater than themselves. Though vastly outnumbered, Omar trained them in the art of guerrilla warfare, striking swiftly and disappearing into the desert like ghosts in the night. Omar's forces grew in both skill and reputation. Over months, they staged daring ambushes, reclaiming stolen grain and freeing entire caravans of captives. Word of their success spread across the desert, and soon warriors from neighboring villages joined his cause. Among them was Khalid, a former soldier who had once fought for Malik but defected after witnessing his cruelty. Khalid became Omar's right hand, advising him on battle tactics and strengthening their ranks.
Fools with sticks. That's what they are. A few disgruntled peasants think they can challenge me.
My lord, the rebels. They've been disrupting our supply lines. Villages are whispering against you.
Whispering? I'll give them something to whisper about. Send the army. Crush these insects. Let their blood soak the sand.
We fight for our homes, for our families, for our freedom. Malik rules through fear, but we will show him the true strength of the desert.
So, the lion thinks he can challenge the jackal. I will teach him a lesson he won't soon forget. Al-Rahim will burn.
He led a massive force to Al-Rahim, determined to burn it to the ground and make an example of the rebels. Omar, knowing that they could not withstand a direct siege, devised a plan. Under the cover of night, he and his men snuck into the warlord's camp, setting fire to their supply tents and stampeding their camels. Chaos erupted as Malik's forces turned on one another in the confusion, allowing Omar's warriors to strike with precision. The battle stretched for hours, the desert sky lit by the glow of torches and the clash of steel. Omar moved like a shadow among his enemies, striking down Malik's most feared generals one by one. His men fought with unwavering resolve, knowing that failure meant certain death. As the battle neared its climax, Omar and Malik finally came face to face. The warlord, clad in black armor, towered over Omar, his blood-red cape billowing in the wind. Malik struck first, his blade slashing through the air with brutal force. Omar deflected the blow, feeling the impact vibrate through his arm. He countered swiftly, slicing across Malik's armor, leaving a deep gash. The warlord roared in rage and pressed forward, attacking with relentless fury. Their swords rang out in the desert night, each strike sending sparks into the air as sand swirled around them like a living storm. Malik's strikes were wild yet powerful, forcing Omar on the defensive. A lesser man would have fallen, but Omar had spent years mastering not just strength, but patience. He studied his enemy's movements, noting the slight hesitation in Malik's left arm, an old injury. Using this knowledge, Omar feigned weakness, drawing Malik into overextending himself. With lightning speed, Omar sidestepped and struck with precision. His sword found its mark, piercing through Malik's defenses and cutting deep into his side. The warlord gasped, his strength failing as he staggered back. Blood soaked his once proud cape as he dropped to one knee. But Malik was not done. With a final surge of desperation, he lunged at Omar, aiming to take him down in his last moments. Omar twisted away, raising his sword in a fluid motion that sent Malik's weapon flying from his hands.
You ruled through fear, But fear crumbles before true strength, strength of honor, of justice.
Malik, defeated and humiliated, closed his eyes as Omar delivered the final, merciful strike, ending his reign of terror once and for all. With Malik gone, Omar and his warriors reclaimed their homeland. But true to his nature, Omar did not seek the throne or wealth. Instead, he restored justice and governance to the rightful elders of Al-Rahim. His men, once simple villagers, had become protectors of their people, ensuring that no tyrant would ever rise again. Omar himself vanished into the desert, leaving behind only whispers of his deeds. Some say he traveled to distant lands, teaching others the ways of honor and resistance. Others believe he still roams the dunes, watching over his people from the shadows. Strength is not found in power or wealth, but in courage and integrity. In a world where injustice still thrives, the spirit of Omar al-Faris reminds us that one brave soul, standing for what is right, can change the course of history. Be that soul. Omar, the lion of the desert, stood not just as a warrior, but as a beacon of hope and freedom. His name became legend, and his spirit eternal. In his courage, Omar taught us that true strength lies in standing up for justice, even when the odds are insurmountable. Let Omar's story inspire you to be the change the world needs. Let it remind you that one brave soul can indeed change history. Subscribe for more heroic stories.